Hello guys, it's Ign Hl04 back with another Splinterlands video. Today we are going to talk about some interesting stuff. We are breaking down the most important meta cards for the fire team. We're gonna look at Untamed, we're gonna look at Undipes, and we are gonna look at Chaos Legion plus Rift Watchers. So if you like this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also tell me how to improve my videos. I want to know some content ideas maybe, and I want to know if you think these types of videos are helpful or not. So now let's look at Untamed and Chaos Legion. Let's first only go to Fire, and let's start with the common cards. There, as you can see, we have 19 common cards in total, and we are going to go all of them individually. First up, the Cobble Bruiser is a card that's not very decent, it's not too helpful at all. It's kinda strong if you take a look at 3, 4, 4, 7. But the stats are strong, but it's not that big of a game-breaking card. Not as the Serpentine Spy. This card currently costs about... Where is the one only BCX card? Do we have one here? $1 per BCX for one BCX card. If you want to buy a level 3 copy, you pay about $9, $4.32, and so on. So for level 8 is even 160. This card is extraordinarily strong. It's one of the best opportunity monsters the fire team has to offer. At the max level, it only costs 3 mana for 4 damage, 6 speed, and the poison ability. Poison ability is pretty strong. I would definitely recommend to you, if you want to hit champ as fast as possible, I would definitely try to pick out one Serpentine Spy, even as an individual copy, or maybe rent him. Magma Troll is kinda okay, it's not that decent, it's not that a must-have card, it's okay. If you take a look at the next one, the Fireballer, this is a staple if you play a Yodin or a Yasek. For 2 mana, you get a great amount of hit points, you get the stun ability, you even get Snare. With Blast, this card is an absolute nightmare to play against. So basically, if you're renting a Yasek, it will also cover him. Flame Monkey is one of the dice cards that's pretty decent, especially in the later levels when it's able to get the repair and the swiftness. Currently this card goes around for 27 cents per BCX approximately, maybe even less sometimes, but overall it's a great card to have, and you can literally call it a staple. If you take a look at the stats, it's really decent. But keep in mind, those cards are very expensive. Also, as the next one, it's the Ant Miners. And we have a similar card, the Platoon, next to it. I'm gonna compare these two to each other because both have the Scavenge and the Shield ability. This card ends up with 2 damage, 3 speed, 1 shield, and 3 health. And the Ant Miners ends up with the same amount of abilities, but it has 3 damage, more shield, a little less, I think it's less, or the same speed, and more health. So basically, those two are great cards, and I would definitely try to have at least own one. I personally own a gold foil copy of this card because I think it's great and I actually like it a lot. And I would definitely try to get one of those two, not even both. Slamesmith is a card that's kinda okay, but it's not that mandatory, it's still great. But I'm trying to go from a little faster. Minotaur, not a staple, and I would go for every Chaos Legion card max out because currently those are pretty cheap still, and I would try getting them, as well as an Ash Mirage. Ash Mirage is a card that's extraordinarily strong, especially in the later levels. I would definitely try, even in gold and above, I would go for a level 6 copy. I'm currently trying to buy a level 6 copy at the moment, and yeah. That's basically everything that you would probably need. You're getting the Soulbound reward cards all the time, and the Septic Slime is not that mandatory, but those you're getting right now at the moment, of course, so you're having them already. If you take a look at the rare cards, we have a little less, we have only 17, but we also have some summoners to cover here. And speaking of summoners, we can also take a look at the legendary ones too. Basically, Pyrrha is good, but it's not that great of a summoner. Also, Quidiev is okay, but not amazing. And if we take a look at Tarsa, Tarsa is a card. It's not a expensive summoner, but it comes with a lot of value, especially at the higher levels. In certain rules that this card is really game breaking. You can buy a max copy $124 or $1.80 per BCX, which is not a lot for a summoner. And look out for her, she's amazing. The Gladys summoner can be good in certain rules. It's also Skeogre, currently pretty cheap, max copy for 117, a little bit cheaper than a Tarsa. I don't think it's a staple card, but you can still think of it as a nice addition to have. If we take a look at Jodin, this card is extraordinarily strong. It's one of the best summons we have out there in Modern. You can buy a level 3 copy for $1,000, so it's pretty expensive. I maybe try to rent those. A max copy would cost about 1,500, 2,000 approximately. So if you have the money, I would definitely go for Jodin, because this card is the best card you can have for the fire team. But also you can go for the cheaper version of Jacek. Jacek is also great in certain rules. It is a little bit harder to play, but as soon as you get the hang of it, it's a must-have card. And for summoners, I would definitely recommend a Tarsa and a Jacek. In addition, maybe if you have a lot of budget and you love the fire team, I would also recommend you getting a Skeogre. If we take a look right now at the monsters, let's just go with them individually, and only monsters. In the fire team, all of the untamed cards here are great. Those are cards that I would definitely try to get. Like, all of them have great value, have a place in my heart, because all of them get great abilities, especially with or without Jodin. It doesn't really matter. Also with Jacek, those are great, and I would try getting all of those in my team to hit champ as soon as possible. Finest Rage is not a card that I'm looking too strong at right now, but Ifrit Elder is a card that I do. If you don't know what it does, it is basically a mini Kron with Jacek, especially with the face and the last stand, and then it gets 6 speed with a Jacek, and also the last stand ability is gonna make him even faster, so consider renting or trying out this card. If we take a look at the rares, Exploding Red is pretty cheap. I would definitely get it. It's great in certain rule sets. Gao Firebolt is a must-have. In certain rule sets, it's completely dominating. Tenji Striker is basically one of the best cards out of those. Gene Apprentice is okay. It's not overwhelmingly strong, but it's still a great addition for 5 mana. 4 magic attack is huge. Molten Ash Golem is also a card that you probably would need in your team, and it would definitely help you to get this card. Tinderlock is a card I would definitely recommend getting a level 4 max copy for silver, because of the silence ability. You're getting it penalized, but trust me, this card is gonna help you boosting up your gameplay tremendously. Technovisologist is not that overwhelming. I wouldn't recommend, and you wouldn't need this copy to have it in your deck. It just has okay abilities. And the Pirewatch Devil, you're basically getting this card for free. If we take a look at the epic cards right now, there we have only fewer, and fewer are from high interest. If you have a Jacek or a Jodin, basically with a Jacek this card works better. The Pyromancer with the piercing ability and for ranged attack, it's great. I would try renting them and getting a hang of it. Those two are also great, but they're not so much needed. Also Goblin Fire Mage. This card is basically pretty great with the blind ability, and a Jacek this can be overwhelmingly strong. If we take a look at the other ones, like Lava Launcher is a must-have. Forgotten One is also a must-have with those attack. Tusk the White, it's better to have in the lower leagues. In the higher leagues it's rarely used. And I got Ign Hl04, and it's one of the best choices I've ever made, because I actually fell in love with this card. It's doing so much magic damage with the giant skill and the stun. It's really an outstanding card, and I would, if I was you and I don't own a max copy and I'm playing a diamond go for it. It will help you immediately and with an impact on your game. If you use this card in the right context, it can boost you at least a league. If we take a look at legendaries, Magnor is great. It's the only taunt we have on the fire team, not counting in the neutrals, but it's not a must-have card. For me, it's too expensive. If Coludum is great, it's the dice legendary, and it's in certain rule sets it can really bring you an attack, like with the immunity ability. It's great, but it's not that good that I think I would rent it. Akainu, on the other hand, is a card that does 2 damage, 5 speed, 3 health with a Tarsa in low mana rule sets. If you can't play the blue team, I would definitely try renting it out sometime. It can be great in certain rule sets, but also not that widely played. You don't need an Infinite Rising, but what you need is a max level Scorchfiend, you need a Grum at max level, you need a Sinage at max level. Those 3 cards are cards that are gonna help you a lot. I will buy a max level Fiend probably tomorrow. If you take a look at Mordius, this card is also very strong, and I would recommend to you getting a max copy with the Importunity ability. You can mix it with a Serpentine Spy and some other cards, and with a Yasek it gets up to 4 speed. If you take a look at the Phyrexian Hero, I'm looking forward to playing this card a lot because of the Reflection Shield and the, not even about the weapons trading, but more of the Reflection Shield, because it's so good. I love it, and also on the max level it looks, look at the stats, look at the artwork, I wanna play it. And now the last card to cover is the Bale. The Bale is also a card that's actually decent, especially in the higher levels. I think this card can change your gameplay if you play it with a Yasek. Yasek plus 2 speed, Sinage 1 speed, plus Supply Runner 1 speed. A 6 speed card that does 6 damage and removes all of the armor. I love it. I want to see it in action. Let me play it, but I think we have to wait. If I don't get 4 gold foil copies in the next few chests, I won't be able to show this card anytime soon, as well as the Phyrexian Hero. But basically those are all of the cards that are actually needed. We can also take a look at the cards that I currently own to achieve the level that I am right now. These are all the fire cards I currently own. It's a small little collection, but I'm feeling pretty confident with the team, especially if you take in consideration that I can also use neutral cards with it. It looks a little bit bigger, and it helps me to win a lot. Especially the summoners that I own, I write here a Tars level 6, level 3 and a Yasek. So basically I only have a maxed Yasek that I'm playing right now, and the fire team does good with it. And that's going to be the whole video. I hope I could give you some insight in the cards that I'm using, the cards that are relevant, the cards that may show up in price, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, please feel free to like and subscribe, and also comment down below on how you think I could improve by any chance. I wish you an amazing rest of the day. Bye.